What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Josh Mordecai. I live in Queen Creek, Arizona, and I'd like to bring updates in regards to everything life in Arizona. Today, we're going to be talking about a little bit of a fun one. We're going to be comparing the cost of living between Orlando, Florida, and Phoenix, Arizona. Let's get into that. All right, what city will prevail? Is it going to be beach or desert? What does the cost of living look like between each city? Now, me not knowing much about Orlando and just looking at the data on paper, originally I was thinking, oh, Orlando is going to be completely more expensive than the Phoenix area, and this is going to be a no-brainer, but it's actually matching up pretty closely. So let's look at the data and see what we have. Referring back to that index level that we've talked about in previous videos, 100 being the medium for United States, Phoenix sits right around the 103. Can you guess where Orlando's at right now? Like I said, I would have thought it would be like more of 110, maybe even a little bit higher, but they're actually sitting a little bit above us at 104. That's actually pretty surprising to me. Well, where do the index levels match up? How is it that we're kind of a comparable city between Phoenix and Orlando? Well, food costs on that index level, not too surprising. Phoenix is sitting under that 100 level mark. We're sitting around 97. Orlando is right at 100, a little over. I mean, they got some points there, but they are a little bit more expensive on the food side of living in that area. Now, when comparing housing, this is where I was thinking Orlando was going to blow us out of the water, but I'm actually a little bit surprised here. They're coming in on the index level at 106 with a median sales price around 245 for that area. Here in the Phoenix area, we're sitting at 103 with a median sales price around 239. So obviously this data may have been pulled at the first of the year, but this is accurate 2020 data according to bestplaces.net. And so a median sales price at 239, just knowing from my experience here in the Phoenix area, that is going to be more of a unique property. It may not best fit your situation unless you were looking for a little bit smaller property, maybe looking to do some work on the property. Now, as far as Orlando, I would assume it'd be kind of the same, but factoring in both information, we are sitting a little bit below Orlando's median sales price, which is good. As far as utilities go, again, I was thinking that we were going to blow them out of the water comparing the utility costs between Orlando and Phoenix, but they're actually coming a little bit higher on that index level. They're coming in at 102, whereas we're coming in at 101. Obviously, like I've talked in last videos, if you're moving from out of state, maybe from a colder state, and you're moving here, you've got to expect to pay a little bit more in utilities because of the heat. Especially right now in this time frame, coming into May, our bills actually transition over to higher percentages on our kilowatts for our electricity bills. And so luckily, at the first of the year, I was able to put our plan on an average from the year that we've been in the home. And so we're paying around 100, I think it's 190 right now per month, and we'll pay that throughout the summer, which at the end of the summer, they will evaluate the energy that we've used, and they may adjust it from there. But going into the colder months, we'll pay a set amount as well. Easier for budgeting, but if you don't mind paying like an $80 bill in the wintertime and then a $300 bill in the summertime, then those averages are going to be okay for you. But we do like to budget a little bit easier, and so we've been on this payment plan at 190 for a couple months now, which has been nice. Now back to Orlando. Their heat levels must be comparable to ours as well as the utility costs, and so they're sitting a little bit above that level. Again, 102 on the index level versus our 101, not too much of a difference. But again, I was thinking they were going to be lower than us, but thinking about it a little bit more, the heat costs between the two states, it would make sense for us to be more comparable. Now, as far as transportation goes, this one isn't too surprising, and I was thinking it was going to be this way as well. We're sitting around 117 on that index level, whereas Orlando residents are sitting around 110. I've said it in past videos, but if you're living in the area and you're okay paying premiums to live in the city, then you will pay more for like a smaller house than you would if you're living out, let's say in Queen Creek, like we are in my family. And now a lot of the questions that I'm seeing online is, should I retire in Florida or should I retire in Arizona? A lot of information I'm seeing compares the two as far as cost of living, and Phoenix is beating them a little bit on that scale, but most of the people that are providing information actually go in a little bit more on the personal side of things. What I mean by that is when you're living in Florida, it is a humid state. And so there's a lot more humidity compared to the Phoenix area, which also means that there are a lot more bugs. There's rust involved, there's rotting involved. Not saying that we don't have rot and mold here in Arizona, but we do have less humidity, we do have less bugs. We're not having to worry about hurricanes for the most part. But as far as what I'm seeing on forums and information, most people will choose to live in the Phoenix area just mainly because of that reason. They don't want to deal with the moisture and the humidity. They'd rather deal with the heat, which is dry, and you actually get used to it after a while. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that helps you compare the cost of living and some other differences between Florida and Phoenix, Arizona. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I love hearing from you guys. Until the next video, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.